Sufis actually try to get the knowledge and their understanding of the world. Actually, according to their classification, there are two types of knowledge. The knowledge that you go about it, and the knowledge that it comes to you. The knowledge that you go to it, or you seek it, and the knowledge that seeks you. So there are two varieties, if you like, of knowledge, but they are actually two genres, if you like, and they are not two types or subtypes of the same genre. The knowledge that you seek it, you go about it, and this is the knowledge that we do it. I mean, in universities, in classrooms, in the schools, and so on and so forth, through books, through teachers, and so on. We go to learn from them, to read books, to study in the libraries, everywhere. This is a knowledge that we follow it, and we try to capture it, to buy it, if you like. But there is a kind of knowledge that actually seeks us and comes after us. That is a knowledge Sufis are after all. And their way of knowing things is very different from the ordinary, conventional way of knowing and understanding. Here actually Rumi gives us a hint as to how it works. The mechanism or the dynamism of that knowledge, you will find it here. This is through the purification of the heart. They think, and actually they tell us, that there is such a system, if you like, such a mechanism in the world, that if you make yourself empty of your vices, if you purify yourself, the truth rushes to you and fills you see, rather than you try to fill your mind with the truth or the facts of things. So there are two different ways of capturing the truth. In one sense, in one way, you go about truth, and of course you capture it only partially, as we said, and as we saw it in the story of the elephant. Okay, you capture it, you find it, but very partially, very incomplete, and that is the way of philosophers and scientists and so on. But now the way that the Sufi chooses is the Greek way, as you saw. Chinese are the scientists and the philosophers. They need color, they are good painters, of course, and they work every day in order to paint the world. But the Greek are the Sufis on the other side of the room, on the facing wall. So they are just making the wall, I mean, they polish it, they make it like a mirror. Now the truth over there reflects itself in the polished mirror-like wall on the other side. So it is your choice now. You would like to be a Chinese or a Greek. You would like to be a scientist or a Sufi. You would like to go to the truth, or you would like the truth to come to you. So there are both ways. And the purification, of course, is much more difficult than careful observation, than experimentation, that careful argumentation, and so on and so forth. Indeed, this is one of the main Rumi's teachings, that it is not enough to know the truth. It is not enough for the objective truth to be there. It is important for the knower, for the scholar, for the thinker to be impartial, to be free. The freedom of the spirit, of the soul of the thinker is much more important than the objectivity of the rules, of the methodology, of the science, and all that. You see, this is, and because of that, they think, Rumi and others, that ethics or morality comes first. Because you may be a good scientist, you may not be an impartial person. You may have your own self-interest. You might have your selfishness and many other vices in you, which prevents you from understanding the reality or from actually selling it and describing it to others. So ethicality, morality, purity of the soul, purity of the mind comes always first. A very good example actually gives us, and that is very suitable for the month of Ramadan in which now we are. You know that in Suhoor, I mean, before the dawn, the people who would like to fast, I mean, get up early and eat something, and then when the dawn is there, so they have to stop eating and so on. Now, Rumi says there are people who would like to fast, but they close their eyes to the dawn in order to have more time to eat and to drink. Okay? They close their windows. They close their windows. They close their eyes. That's exactly what he says. He said the scientist is a man who takes food and drink into him. But then, if not impartial, if he is not pious enough, if he is not purified enough, he will close the doors to the sun. He will close his eyes to the sun of truth. Though he knows a lot, but he is not truthful to the truth. He is not faithful to the truth. You see what he means? Let me read you the poem. چون طمع مر شمس را پنهان کند نه عجب گر پشت بر برهان کند. What is طمع? Avarice? Greediness? Yeah, greed. Yes. Now greed makes you conceal the sun from yourself and not to see it and to continue drinking and eating. Okay? Now the same greed will conceal the sun of truth from you as well. Okay? So that is the message that Rumi gives us. So piety, purity of the soul and the mind always comes first. And the very purity of soul and mind actually prepares you to capture and to receive the truth much more easily than from other ways. So the Greek actually here are those who think that purifying the soul and the heart is the main source of understanding the reality, and the Chinese are, of course, the symbol of the scientists and so on. So altogether, I think now we have got a clear picture of, if you like, the epistemology of Rumi. On the one hand, language has got its own shortcomings. Certainty is unattainable, and the intellect always is partial, and it cannot be impartial. And for all these reasons, actually, a kind of, for those who are eager to understand better and clearer the reality, they have to purify their soul, their mind, and this purification, of course, is not easily attainable. One has to be careful and watchful on him or herself, and there are, of course, ways to do that. Eating less, drinking less, sleeping less, and so on and so forth, in order to purify and to prepare yourself to receive the higher knowledge, if you like, and the certainty, and of course to even to become prone for the love of God. This much for the whole epistemology. But as far as the theology and philosophy is concerned, of course, Rumi does not like these disciplines as well. First of all, as I said, because they are based, theology, according to Rumi, is there in order to settle the disputes of the unbelievers. Okay. Therefore, it is a secondary, a derivative discipline. If there were no disputants, if there were no unbelievers, there would be no need for theology. Therefore, theology is not an original, a genuine science. It is there in order to combat the believers, infidels. So it's not very original. It is secondary, and it is there in order to respond to the misgivings of the infidels, of the theologians, of the other sects and religions and so on. Philosophy